We are making a shoe. Woohoo! So it says chain 2, put 8 single crochet in the second chain from the hook. The other way that I like to make this is with a magic ring. This is the easy way if you don't know how to use the magic ring. You chain 2 and then add your single crochets. But the way to make it with the magic ring is basically make the magic ring and put 8 single crochets in it. So this is how I make it. And I have a beautiful tutorial on YouTube how to make the magic ring. So we're gonna do 8 single crochets. Oh my gosh, I haven't done this in a while. By pulling the tail, it makes a nice little circle. All right, so then it says 2 single crochets around, which is increase in every stitch. Where's my stitch marker? Oh, there it is. So if you're not sure about where the first stitch is, you count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there you go. There's 1 half of a increase. Put my stitch marker so I know where to start. Two. 1, 2. And see how I'm working the tail in. If you forgot where you were at, you can count 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and know that you're back at 1. Now you can check your work and make sure you have 16 and start with where your stitch is holding you its place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And you put your hook back in. The next one is single crochet. It says single in 2, but I think that that is either a weird way that they've told you to increase, or it was a mistaken typo, but that's an increase. So you do 1 single, 1 increase all the way around to get 24. So single, mark your stitch, in, crease, single, in, crease, nope, crease. And this is where I put the tail in behind and I'll trim it later. Single increase, single increase, single in, crease. Good way to know that you did it correctly is that you end on the increase, which is what the instructions told you were going to do. And then you count your work from, you should have 24. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Perfect. Now we need 4 through 7. I like to use my counter. Put your counter on 4, or if you have one of those little twisty ones, dial it to 4, and then every time you get back to here, you would move it one more. So this is a single crochet around for 3 rows. 7. I will end up fast forwarding through this. $24. You can always check your work, but I counted in my head, so I know I'm good. Make sure you put your stitch marker back, and every time you do that, move your peg. If you forgot to move your peg and you need to count, we're on row 5, so 1, 2, actually you gotta go where your hook is in to count up to there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, we're on the 5th row. We are on row 7, so you've got to go around one more time. Switch to working in rows. So row 1 through 6. We're on row 1. Okay. 1 through 6. Single crochet in 22. Chain 1 and turn each time. So every time you get to 22, you chain 1 and then you turn. And you make sure you don't work into that chain 1. You work into the next single crochet. And we're leaving 2 of these undone because we had 24 in this round all the way around. We're only working in 22. So you're gonna make sure you count. So single crochet in 22. Let's get the first one. Put your stitch marker so we don't lose where we're at. And count. That's 1. So we're on 2, 3, 22. And you know you did it right because you have 2 left over. So here's your 22. We're going to chain 1 and turn your work. So you can see here's your chain 1. That's your single crochet, the last one, number 22 that you've made, and you're going to work into that last single crochet. This is called a turning chain. You chain 1 to help you turn, and it gives you that next height of what a single crochet is. So that's 1. You do want to make sure you get under both stitches and you're not just doing the front loop. Otherwise your work's going to look a little funny. Make sure you get both stitches. So this is stitch number 1, where we started. I'll take my stitch marker out. I probably don't need it at this point. Move your row counter, and we are on row 3. And make sure to chain 1, then you turn. And don't work into the chain, which you can see is here. You work into the single crochet that you ended with. This is the last stitch because now we've got some height. You can see like it has an edge to it, and we're making a hole. We're building it up. So there's our last stitch. Make sure you chain 1. Make sure you move your stitch marker, and then you turn your work. There's your edge. Make sure you get into that last stitch. You can tell because it has the V on top still, you can see. Make sure you work into that last one. Then you're going to chain 1, turn your work, and move your count. And this is the last stitch here. You can see there's a hole and not one past it, so that you know that's the last one that you're working into. Make sure you don't work into that chain because you'll start to get a funky shape. So chain 1, turn, and we are on the last row 6. That was your last stitch. You will form the heel flap, okay? Row 1, slip stitch in 9. Let's see, 6, 7, 8. Single crochet in 5. The heel flap. Top of shoe. Let's see, so we have 6 rows high, 2 one-work stitches, 6, 12, 14, 9 plus 5 is 14, so I would guess that this means to work back down this way. That's my guess. That's how you figure things out like this, because that wouldn't make sense. 14 across the 22 around the top. You'd end up over here, and it doesn't tell you to turn. It does tell you to turn, but it would be weird. So this is where I'm guessing the slip stitches come in. All right, so slip stitch 9. Top of shoe. Lift the flap up to the top of the shoe, ensuring the same height. You will have holes on either side of your flap that you will sew closed after and work in rounds. So ensuring the same height. So our next clue in this detective work is that we have 21 stitches to work on. And if we think about it, we did, let's see. I don't know. Top of the shoe. Okay. Lift flap up to the top of the shoe. How do we make this a shoe? Oh my god. Okay. Lift the flap. Okay, well, let's see. You're forming the heel flap. This is the heel flap. You will have holes on either side of your flap. Heel. Let's see. Okay. This had 22. Single crochet around the top. You will have holes on either side of your flap. This is a flap. I'm wondering if the flap should have been up top. Okay, I think I made a mistake. Guess what we get to do? Good thing I put my stitch marker. We're back. Slip stitch in 9, single row in 5. If we do
wham, kazap. First try.
heel, totally got that wrong. All right, let's start again. 1. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Chain 1. Turn your work. And that is, we're starting on row 2. 2 through 9. Chain 1 and turn. We're on row 2. Yeah, this makes more sense. This is the top of the shoe now. And we're working the heel flap. I get it. Row 3 is what we're on. Chain 1 to bring you up to the height and turn. Yay! Last row. Yay! Heel flap. Ta-da! You lift the flap up to the top of the shoe. This is now your top. And when you lift it up, the holes on either side that they're talking about are these holes that are going to be made, which you're going to sew up later, or you can probably single crochet. So get your hook back in there. Single crochet around the top for 21. So we'll put our hook, just put it in the corner, wherever it fits. Make sure you pull your loop tight with your hook and go through it to make a single crochet. I'm gonna do this just so you can see exactly what's happening. You lifted the flap up, you've got a hole. Now we're gonna single crochet around, and this is gonna make the shoe. Yay! Ready? Here we go. The stitch marker there. Now somehow we wanna get 21. Honestly, if you end up with 20, it's probably fine. But your leg from your animal's probably got 21. That's why they want that. So we've got 1, 2, let's see how many we do. 3, You're essentially working between the rows at this point. 4, 5, 15. Get your heel flap back up. Stick your hook in the very corner. Actually tighten it up, then put it through. Make sure it's nice and tight on your hook right here against your hook. 16, 17, 18, 19. All right, this is where we're at 20, like I thought we were gonna have. Just increase it. You can fudge your numbers. Nobody will know, only you. There's a 21, woohoo, we did it. And then it says single crochet around for 21. 1. Mark it so we know when we're back. Oops. I would do a slip stitch. And you could either end it right there. You would pull your string out and then make a nice neat finish. But what I would do is I would go back into the side and actually slip stitch up the side. And just go all along evenly. All right, last slip stitch, just pull it through, thread your needle, and finish off that last. I like to go back into the loop that I came out of to finish, and I'll do it from the inside. Leave the tail on the inside because you're going to stuff it anyway. I kind of like that. You could sew it up though if you want it to be a little bit not so square, but I kind of like that. You make a slip knot on your hook, pull it tight to your hook. This is where we're working. We're going to start from the top like we did on the other side and just go through both pieces. This is only if you want to make the slip stitches the way you finished the other side. So you see what I did? I pulled the loop through and then, oh my gosh, let's start over. Make a slip knot on your hook, pull it tight, okay? Put your hook in through the front, through both pieces. Keep the yarn on the other side and pull it through. Now you've got 2 loops on your hook. Yeah, I'm gonna make a single crochet, not a slip, because it'll be too hard with that. Alrighty. So now we've got the first stitch done. Just go into the rest the way you did, and I'm gonna slip stitch the rest. Doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be even and close together because you don't want your stuffing to come out. Then you cut your yarn, leave a little tail, pull that last loop through, put it on a needle, make that last loop invisible. I went into a space below it and I'm going back through the loop and I'm pulling the needle in. And leave that tail inside, and then pick this tail up and finish that one off. Ta-da! And there you have it, a shoe. Yeah, you probably could have sewn the edges. They're a little square. I think they're cute. Ta-da! Then you'd stuff it and stick it on your leg and sew it on. And you might want to pull this a little bit tighter, so I would get some needle and thread and close it up a little bit, but for now, that's done. Thanks for watching. Bye!